winter being here, it's definitely time to break out your coldest and boldest fragrances. That's what we're gonna do for this list for men for winter 2024/2025. Welcome back to Uncommon Scentz. It's the perfect time to think about the fragrances that can cut through the cold. Let's dive in and get into that thing so that we can get you on your way. It's smelling amazing this winter, okay? Boss Bottle Elixir by Hugo Boss. I'm gonna get a little bit of citrus, warm spices, and a woody base that comes together to make this a very smooth, sexy fragrance. It's perfect for anyone that wants a fresh fragrance that's invigorating, but it has some depth and sexiness too. Boss Bottle Elixir. Coming up to our number 10 spot, Yvonne Chic, Gentlemen Only. Absolutely. Atomizer's on point. This is a staple. So we get notes of whiskey, vanilla, cinnamon. This fragrance is very smooth, it's rich, and it's very sophisticated. When you want a fragrance that's gonna exude some mystery and a lot of sexiness, that you got. Next up, this fragrance is all about the confidence. You got spicy cardamom, sweet toffee, and warm amber. It's the perfect fragrance for anybody that wants to make a statement. It's gonna say, I'm bold, I'm sexy, I'm fresh, I'm fly, and I smell motherfucking good. It's Zara. Next up, new release for 2024, Spicebomb Dark Leather. Opens up very irisy presence about it that I didn't expect. This fragrance is a winter essential. When I think of wintertime, I think of cold leather. Something stark. It's spicy, smoky, rich, warm with vanilla, and a beautiful base of tobacco. But up top, all I'm really getting is that major affront of iris. It's very intense. It's gonna be warmed up with a fragrance like this. It's so sexy. And it is not exactly like the Spicebomb DNA, but it's in the background. You won't mistake it. I had to have this one full retail. So you suck with that. Spicebomb. Perfect. Yes. Especially since it's starting to get cold in Chicago, negative temperatures and whatnot. Now's the time to wear a fragrance like that. You can really dress this fragrance up or you can dress it down. Either way, it's versatile enough to be a standout. And if you're wondering why it's so low in this countdown, it's only because the rest of these fragrances are that good. Every fragrance here is gonna be a staple and a standout for my designer list. Next up, Tom Ford Moustache. Cardamom and the spiciness of this fragrance on top is what I really like. This smells like nothing in my collection. It has warm amber cardamom and it has some decadent dessert in the background. It's something spicy in it like horchata. This type of fragrance is sophisticated and is going to be a standout from anything in your collection. Tom Ford just gets it right when it comes to nailing my personal style and fragrance taste. The fragrances, they really just add that extra oomph. It's the invisible accessory you didn't know you needed. Next up, Valentino Uomo Intense. I have Valentino Uomo, and I've been collecting a lot more Valentino fragrances. Even the Born in Roma line and the Donnas. They have come to be, dare I say it, essentials in my collection. I wore 2 of them earlier, layered up, and I went to my office holiday party. Everybody said I smelled so fucking good. I knew it. I looked amazing today too, so there's that. Back to the star. Valentino Uomo Intense. Get into this atomizer. That pressurized atomizer. This is such a sexy fragrance that I cannot get enough of. The iris and vanilla and hazelnut are the stars in this fragrance. It literally capitalizes on what Valentino Uomo had going on, punches it up 2 notches. There's an element of citrus in here too that's so unexpected, but it works well and balances out with all of the other notes I just mentioned. Some citrus, hazelnut, leather, and iris. All of those together make up a beautiful, sexy, enveloping comfort fragrance. This is a comfort fragrance to me. When it's cold outside and I want to layer up, I'm putting some of this on my clothes. I don't tend to wear a lot of fragrances on my clothes, but this smells good on skin and on clothes. It tends to last a little bit better from clothes. Dries down into a very creamy, delicious, can't keep my hands off your fragrance. Fellas, if you trying to get gobbled up like a snack, this is what you need right here. whoever you want to gobble you up, 10 sprays of this, and you're in the game. Actually, forget these testers. I gotta put a little bit of this on skin. The sharp citrus up front, and then the hazelnut, and the vanilla, and the iris, all of that just comes together, and one after the next, you transition to a chord. And then it nestles into that woody iris. Next up, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Le Parfum. You're getting the classic Le Male DNA with punched up iris. Iris is very apparent for the winter season. Oh, wore this over the Thanksgiving holiday. Smelled good, looked good. It's smooth, it's sweet, perfectly balanced. You could wear it in the day, but this fragrance is suited for nighttime. Think about wearing it in very intimate settings. It's not super loud. It has character, lasts, and smells funky. Jean Paul Gaultier is one of my favorite fragrance designers. They just get it right for me, along with Tom Ford. If you haven't noticed, most of these fragrance bottles are darker. I don't know if that's an intentional thing with marketing, or does it just coincide with what winter is like? Colder, darker, longer, deeper, more mysterious. That's what the bulk of these bottles look like. They're either very dark or black with gold or silver. Next up, Sauvage Elixir. Takes on the groundbreaking nature of what Sauvage did and shifts it to the left, gearing it for something a lot more darker and one of the ultimate winter fragrances. To get to the atomizer. You got that kind of aquatic citrus up front, and it's a marriage of multiple worlds. It's smooth, bold, yet refined, fresh, rich amber. It's powerful and long-lasting. I had some of it on a disc. Got it from the department store. I left that thing in my car. One day I was looking for something in my car and I just kept smelling something. I'm like, what is that? It was that tester on that little disc had my car smelling amazing. I know Lattafa Assad is a dupe for this one. It can't touch it. I had a side, hated it. Love this. On me and on my skin, this just does a better job. That sickly vanilla thing that Assad does, I don't like it. But the DNA of Sauvage is present here, but it's kicked up with vanilla and amber. Damn, it's such a sexy fragrance. Let's keep it going. Next up, Varvatos XX Intense. The fact that this is a woody aromatic, but fits well for wintertime. I remember smelling this one in the department store when I initially sampled this one and the Gucci Elixir. I had to leave that day with this one. This one left an impression though. So much so that I put it out into the universe and ended up getting it as PR. So freaking happy about that. But it was a fragrance that I really wanted to buy anyway. The fact that it came as PR was just an added bonus. The citrus in here and the woods and tobacco in the background, it makes this fragrance sing to me. It's warm and intimate, but it still has that aquatic nature that gives it that fresh and clean edge. So it's fresh, clean, sexy, sultry, and seductive all in one. You can't say no to a fragrance like that. Next up, Carolina Herrera, Bad Boy Le Parfum. I've talked about this fragrance multiple times on the channel. The fact that it has that bad boy edge, that sweet and sour with the cannabis note. Love the kind of sweet and sour, delicate dance it does. It's very playful while still being no nonsense. When this steps in the room, it's like boom. You know what's going on. You don't know what's getting ready to happen, but you're going to be down for whatever the action is. It's leather, some black pepper, rich tonka bean. Cannabis note is to start here. And it's apt. It's an electrifying fragrance. It makes sense why it's in this bottle. It's perfect for winter nights. This fragrance is going to last, and it's going to leave a lasting impression. I've worn it in the wintertime. I've worn it in the summer, the spring, all times. But I will not lie to you. Most times that I've worn this, I was in Mexico. Everybody loved this fragrance. I don't really care about compliments, but in one day, I have 5 compliments for this fragrance. So if you're into highly complimented fragrances, this is one for Bad Boy Le Parfum. Now the top 2, it's one of my favorites. I always talk about this fragrance. It stays toward the top of the top 10. And that's none other than Bulgari Pan and Black Essence. This is a limited edition fragrance, and I'm still holding on to it. Ooh, you see that power? Lots of rum, lots of leather, lots of woods, lots of tonka bean. It's a very masculine fragrance as well. I love this fragrance on me in the wintertime. This is the best time to wear it when it's really cold. Leather jacket with this, wearing some red or some earth tones, sexy. Leather and rum note play very well together. I don't know many fragrances that are touching this right here. It's just that good. Damn it, for the number one fragrance on this list, last but not least, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Lover. This list was for most new releases I've done for a top list. Combines iris, vanilla, and warm woods to make it a creamy, sexy, indulgent fragrance. Off top, something about it reminds me of lemon upside down cake or a 7-Up cake. Added layer of spice. This one is a little bit lighter for winter, but you cannot deny that this is one of the sexiest Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances. That classic Le Male DNA is still there, but I love the way that Jean Paul Gaultier does flankers. They're referential without them being redundant. A lot of designers can't do that, especially when it comes to fragrances. Quentin Beach knows this one, and Quentin is on the pulse of what fragrance and perfumery needs at this moment. If you're gonna do a flanker, I feel like doing a flanker requires skillfulness. It's not just pull last year's fragrance, slap another label on it, or change the concentration, punch up certain notes. This is a similar referential fragrance to the Jean Paul Gaultier DNA, but is a fresh entry to what fragrance and perfumery is needed, especially when we want to talk about flankers. That is just so damn good. So that's going to wrap up this list for winter designer fragrances for 2025. And I appreciate you all. If you found this list helpful, enjoyable, and something that you want more of, make sure you let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed this piece of content. Drop me a line on all of the socials because I'd love to interact with you all just about any fragrance season. So what we already present in face, skin, sexiness, personality to boot, and you smell good,